recording. There we go. On your back, getting comfy. Just give yourself a few breaths to relax, let go. See how everything is feeling. Give yourself permission to relax and permission to adjust your body position if you need. And then bringing your awareness to your breath and beginning to notice inhale, how it expands, what's the length of it. And exhale, how you draw in. Again, how long is that compared to the inhale? And that there's no right or wrong answer to these things. It just is what it is. This is where you're starting from. And then allow yourself to begin to slow down. So feeling the breath slow down, feeling the body go into that place of stillness. And then bringing your arms out to T as you keep this breath long. And on the next inhale, slowly lift that right arm so it goes up toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, slowly let that right arm float out to that side again and let your head roll to the left. As you inhale, head comes center, the left arm comes to your ceiling. And as you exhale, the arm goes out to the side, the head rolls to the right. So 2 more times here. So using the full length of the breath for the movements, giving yourself permission to slow down. Arm goes side, head goes opposite. On inhale, everything slowly floats back to center and the other arm comes up. I believe we have 1 more set. We're going to go with that. So you should finish with that left arm and then head to center, check in. Go ahead and bring both feet flat on the ground, arms to your side or wherever's comfortable. And check in, noticing that change in body position for whatever you moved. And then coming into a sacral shake. So with those feet flat, I want you to think about relaxing through the hip flexors. And then with the feet, you're gently going to push so that you get a body rock out of those feet. So the whole body is starting to jostle and jiggle about a little bit. Again, this is getting you to let go and relax. Kind of hard to be engaged when you're trying to do this one. So let yourself relax. Let the feet do the work. Nothing else has to engage. You might feel them engaged a little bit, but then they let go. For once in class, you get to use momentum. Again, this is rather fast. So getting into opening up and stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system, which allows you to chill out and relax. And pause. Check in. Notice what you feel. And then slowly, please bring both knees into your chest, hands over the tops of the knees, fingers are pointing toward your toes. As you inhale, slowly allow the knees to press away, the hands stay on top of the knees. As you exhale, use the abdominals to draw those knees back into your chest. Inhale, slowly press away. And exhale, drawing in. Inhale, press away. This time I want you to lengthen out your exhale. Well, hello, Alistair. And then 2 more, again, lengthening out, exhale. And after that second one, keep the knees in and just pause for a breath or 2. And then slowly placing that left foot down on the mat and the hands go behind your right knee. Now I want you to hug that knee into your torso a little bit. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, I want you to push down on the left foot, and you're slowly starting to lift your hips up just a little bit. Inhale, stay, go to the level you're comfortable with, and then exhale, slowly release the hips back down, release the pressure on the left foot. 2 more times like this. So exhale, knees into chest, use your abdominals to pull in more as you press down on that left leg. Stay up for inhale, exhale, and release down. 1 more. So how high you lift those hips, entirely up to you. What's going on in your body today? What is it allowing? And then when you're done, put both legs in the same spot so they can be into your chest. You can put both feet on the ground. Just notice the difference right to left. And then please bring your left knee into your chest. Hug it in a little bit. So use those abdominals to help round the low back a little. And with the next exhale, slowly drawing in with that knee a little bit more, push down on the right foot, lift the left or the hips up. Take an inhale, and then slowly release yourself back down. Again, the height of the lift really depends on you. Exhale, core engages, knee comes in, press down on the right foot. So with the knee to the chest, you're probably not going to get as high a lift as you would on a normal bridge, and that's fine. Again, its intention here is different and getting into that low back a little bit more. And then after 3, go ahead and bring both feet down to the ground. Check in. See how you feel. And then go ahead and walk your feet mat width apart. Think about engaging through the core so you stay controlled. And with the next exhale, let your legs gently fall toward the right. Again, how far do they go? Entirely up to you. So both legs are falling to the right. You're getting a little rotation. You can even push that left hip forward a little bit. And then inhale, slowly float yourself back to center. Exhale, your legs gently go to the left. And again, hip can lift up. Knees can stay up if you need to. They can go down. You can push that right hip forward some. Again, long through the low back is the key here. So you're in control with the abdominals. They're helping to control the rotation of the legs going to the right. That left hip comes off. Again, what's comfortable for you here? Hopefully, as you repeat this, we have 3 sets total, you're noticing changes. Even with this simple repetition, just going in and out teaches the body how to move. It gets things to let go. We got 1 more set. And whenever you're done, back to center, feet flat, check in for a moment. See how you feel. And then slowly, please roll over onto your abs. Head can rotate to one side. Arms down by your side and feet go mat width apart, knees and toes turn out gently. You're going to use your glutes to help keep that turn out as we do the upper body work. All right, so take a few breaths here. Again, notice how you feel, notice what's going on. Feel that rib cage expand and contract. And then with the next inhale, start to pull the shoulder blades back, reach the arms toward the knees, breastbone pushes forward, and your nose goes to center. As you exhale, core stays engaged, lower down about halfway. As you inhale, push the breastbone forward a little bit more, and then exhale, rotate your head to the other side and release everything down. Check in. Again, inhale, open up the chest, reach the arms, core stays engaged, lift the torso, push the breastbone forward, nose to center. On exhale, lower it partway down. Inhale, push the breastbone forward a little bit more again, and then exhale, slowly release back to where you started. So that's one set. We're only going to do one more set on this one. So when you're ready, inhale, open and lift. Now hover the nose, exhale, lower down just a little bit, halfway. Inhale, push the breastbone forward, lift up again. Exhale and slowly release yourself all the way down. Other side. Last time. And then check in. Hands can come to wherever they're most comfortable for you. And then go ahead and bring the legs parallel. Bend the knees to 90 degrees. And similar to what we did on the front side, go ahead and rock your legs side to side. Little windshield wiper action. Notice how this feels different. Your pelvis and your femurs are moving different. It gets into that low back a little differently. So 3 sets total here. And then back to center. Straighten everything out. And then bring yourself to all fours. So we're just going to be here for a little bit. So feel free to add padding for your knees if you want to. All right, so we're going into Chakravarkasana. So we're going to make this asymmetrical. So step your right hand forward and your right knee forward. Both of them just a little bit. Kathy, we won't be here long. So you can do a little cat. You can do it seated if you need to, if you can't do on your knees. All right, so take an inhale, push the breastbone forward. As you exhale, slowly pulling the tailbone toward the wall behind you, rounding the low back. You're going to feel the right side open up more than the left because of the offset. And then inhale and bring yourself back to where you started. Back to the beginning. 2 more times. Exhale, lengthen out the breath. Slowly round your spine. Last one. Reach that right arm forward. Inhale, pull back to center, and then level the hands and the knees out. Check in, notice right to left, see how everything feels. And then you're going to take that left hand forward, left knee forward. And it's the same thing. So take an inhale, gently push the breastbone forward. As you exhale, slowly push the left hand forward as you're pulling those hips back. Sit back into child's pose. Inhale, slowly bring yourself all the way back up. So 2 more. Again, lengthen the exhale out a little bit more each time. So notice how the pelvis shifts on this side with the left leg forward as opposed to the right. One more. And then level yourself out. Check in, see how you feel. And then please come around onto your back, and you're going to need your little setup that we worked with beginning of class. So bringing it to the edge of your mat or wherever you are relative to it. Legs go on top, knees and hips both at 90. And your knees should be directly over those hip sockets. So Ryan, can you push your hips in a little bit? Walk your hips in a little. There you go. So you're really trying to get the hip flexors to relax, and the weight of gravity's working here. Gravity pulls the femurs down into the hip sockets. It helps level your pelvis. It helps release your low back. All right, arms go out to T. We're going to continue to open that chest a little bit. And I want you to close your eyes and begin to feel the breath again. So this is going to be a body awareness meditation. So in this place where you're feeling the weight on your sacrum, it's pushing it directly down. Slow the breath. And I want you to feel and be aware of the front of your legs, the quads, the hip flexors. Are they relaxed? Take a few breaths and just check in, see how they feel. If they're not relaxed, you might need to change position a little bit, because those hip flexors tend to be dominant. So this is part of teaching them to relax. And again, that's going to help you open up through the hips, open up the low back. So you're in a nice stable place. And again, if you don't feel like your hips are really relaxing, feel free to change whatever you're using so that you can get those hips to relax. Again, this is taking the time to really feel what's going on. And as you get those hip flexors to relax, bring your awareness to the pelvis. So your weight is directly on your sacrum here. It's a bony triangle, end of your spine, creates the back of the pelvis. And I want you to notice the pelvis, notice that sacrum, and does it feel like it's equal right to left? And then go back and talk to your quads, your hip flexors. And if they're still tight, focus on the one that's more tight. See what you can do to get it to relax. And notice if that changes the position of the pelvis. Allowing your breath to be effortless here. Allowing that pelvis to really sink into the ground and be aware of the weight of those two femurs, the thigh bones, going into the pelvis. Again, that direct 90-degree line, perpendicular line is really what's helping to reset the pelvis and reset your low back here. So going back and forth between the pelvis and the hip flexors, quads. Having that conversation with each of them to get them to open up. And then we're adding our third component to this little conversation, going up onto the lumbar spine, into the low back. So there are 5 vertebrae between the pelvis and the ribs. See if you can identify each just by increasing awareness. Maybe something to say, L5, where are you? Let me feel you, and it shows up. The same thing with L4, L3. Each of them gets a little bit smaller and farther away from the pelvis. L2, L1, and then slowly bringing your awareness back down the vertebrae, L1 to L5. Back down to the sacrum. Notice how they connect. The 5 vertebrae and then your sacrum. As you draw your awareness to this lumbar and the relationship with the sacrum, what do you feel changing? What's shifting? And then go back up to the awareness of the quads, the hip flexors. What do you notice? What do you feel? What's changed since we originally started? And then shifting your awareness between the 3, that conversation between the thighs, the pelvis, the lumbar. Notice what you feel as that conversation begins. How can the 3 of them work together to have the hips more at ease, to have the low back more at ease, to get those hip flexors to relax? And then allow your mind to be still. Allow the conversation to cease. Noticing, just being present in your body. Notice the changes. See if you can identify breath to breath changes.
If you want to stay here for a little bit longer, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we're going to start coming out. So begin to deepen your inhale. Lengthen your exhale. Coming back into your body slowly. And again, if you feel you needed to stay in this position for a while longer, tune me out. Otherwise, gently wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Gently rock your head side to side. And over the next few breaths, slowly bringing yourself out of this position and onto your side. And again, if you want to stay here, feel free to stay there. How do you need to transition to sideline if that's where you're going? And then slowly pressing yourself to whatever seated position is most comfortable for you. So check in, see how you feel. We started here talking at least, if not class. So notice what's changed. Notice what feels different. Bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra. And I honor you for sharing your practice with me today. Om Shanti. Namaste.